Hi, I'm Draken, and this is the DrakenGameWerks, and welcome back to Unorthoblocks Season 2. This is the second episode. If you checked out the first episode, you will know that we built this monstrosity in the last episode. Multiple farms, about 30-odd items, I think, 20, 30 items that it produces, including 16 different colours of wool. That takes up a lot, actually, in fairness. But we've also got loads of gunpowder, iron, gold, we got sugarcane, we got melons, pumpkins, chorus fruit, basalt, cobblestone, loads. This thing produces pretty much everything I could possibly need, or most of the things I can possibly need. There will be a few things that it doesn't do, and we'll get that sorted as we go through the series. But in this episode, I want to try and get a storage system built for this place, and a few other things as well, especially as now at the moment, if we jump back into here a second and go down here, you can see that I've got these 25 chests down there, which is where everything's collecting, and I'm getting basically a bit of a chest monster at the moment. So we've got these chests over here, and literally it's not organized, it's not sorted, it's just everything gets dumped where it can into these. You know, there's no organization for it, and that's just stuff that I've picked up. And then we come around to here, you got those 25 chests here, and I sort of try and sort them out on a regular basis, but it takes up a lot of time doing this. And it's like, these are the items that are coming out from that farm there, and you can see they're all sort of produced over here. And then we've got wool in this one, and we've also got gunpowder in this one, and sugarcane in this one. And there is just loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of items in all of them there. This farm is mega productive. It is very, very productive. But of course that means it fills up these chests really, really quickly. So before we do anything else, I think the next step is going to be the storage room. It's going to have to be the storage room. But first, before we do that, let's just go and check out a couple of things back here at spawn. You can see the whole place is developing. Lovely. We got over there, I think that's Flehzy bouncing around in the background there doing his work. But we have some diamonds over here. None in the gunpowder, none in the rockets. No, none in the rockets. Okay, that's cool. But this was also added, which I think we will take part in as well. Like, if you remember last season, we actually had a full Christmas region and everything else like that. But we've only just started, so there's no time really to set up a proper Christmas district, but we do still have Secret Santa. So apparently the sign up is over here for the Secret Santa. Oh, it's on board here. Okay, let's have a look. What have we got here? It's Christmas time. Sign up for Secret Santa. Grab a piece of paper from the chest and rename it. Put your name in the chest on the right. You have until the 22nd. Okay, we can do that. So that's easy enough. So let's take that and rename that and into Draken. There we go. Right. And we'll pop that into there. That's gone in. Secret Santa, we are now a part of. Awesome. Hey, Flehzy.
Hey, Draken.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going. It's going pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. I see you got your little farm up there. Everything being productive. How's Duckco?
Can I be honest with you, Draken?
Go on.
In shambles.
Oh, no. Why?
Mr. Christian over there has destroyed the mending book market.
Yeah, I saw that he massively undercut you, like massively, because you were like originally doing it for about, well, I think when you first tried selling the first ones, they were about 8 diamonds, and then you put them down to 6 diamonds in your store, and then he came in at 3 diamonds.
What happened was, I think I sold Christian one 8 diamond for 8 diamonds. I think he realized he got scammed just a little bit. But you know, that's just how the market is. It's for day one.
It's competition.
Books are
but the
which
book
is fine, you know.
Yeah, the book trade is definitely where to be for money, though. I mean, you can still compete. You know,
definitely true.
You just bring your prices down, match him, or even undercut him. I mean,
but I'm not making any profit myself.
What, it costs you 1, 2 diamonds to make a mending book?
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically.
How's it costing you 2 diamonds? Is that just the resources to get the emeralds?
No, it's the time, really. I need to upgrade the scale of my pumpkin farm and everything. I just haven't had time to play.
I see.
So he's just been...
He's going at
it.
He's going at it, isn't he? I mean, he's got quite a few items over there, a few books. He's got various other items there as well. But yeah, he's really ploughing that market really hard.
Yep. So yeah, I might as well just throw all the mending books away because they're worth, not much more than dirt.
Well, if you're throwing them away, you can throw them my direction.
Gotcha.
I won't say no to free stuff.
No one will. By the way.
Oh no, snowballs.
You got snowballed.
And by the power of editing, we have jumped straight back in here with having built the full furnace array here. And you can see we've started taking down some of the Skyblock islands at the top here. So these were things that held crops originally that then got moved over into there. And also we had our sheep as well. All of that's gone into the multi-farm, so we don't need to keep these around. We can get rid of all the sheep as well that was sort of stored up in a pen there. We've taken down the actual dirt islands as well now eventually. There were a load of chests on here for items because we were saying we were getting a bit of a chest monster building up. I've removed those, put them into the system, and then taken them out. So we've actually started to trim back the sort of Skyblock islands that we've got going into our base at the moment. And eventually we'll get rid of the rest as well. There's a couple more chests up there. Those are items that can't go through the auto sorter. So I'll sort those into their own separate chests in a bit. But yeah, that's all sorted. All being removed down there. And eventually we can remove all of this here. So this is all just on the base itself. But yeah, if we come down into this array here, obviously I haven't decorated the place yet. This is just, it's got a temporary platform made out of Nether Brick and Tuft here as well. Not Nether Brick, Nether Rack and Tuft here. And what we have is, obviously we've got the water stream comes in off the automatic farm here. And all the items sort of come into this racetrack and then race around the racetrack into various auto sorter hoppers. But what we've done here is we've got these kelp here, first of all. So we've got a chest here filled with kelp. That's just like 2 chests there for the kelp if we needed to get hold of kelp. That will be filled up, so now that will all be locked down. And now onto behind there, we then have these 8 chests with item filters that send kelp into the top chest, which then drops into a hopper and then drops down the kelp into this furnace here. And it's actually 8 furnaces there in total that are going to be fully powered up eventually. And then the front chest you got here with its hopper is leading into the front of the furnaces, and this is where we can pump fuel into it. And then at the bottom then we draw out the items and they come into these bottom chests here, and they've got basically dried kelp. And the idea is this, that this system is designed to eventually sort of power itself up, so that the kelp comes in, it gets dried out into here. We can turn those into kelp blocks, pop it back into the chests above, and that will refill these furnaces. When they drop into the furnaces, we ended up producing more kelp blocks than we need to power these furnaces. That's why these kelp farms work so well with it. And then the surplus we can then pull off and use for other projects. Like, for example, we could either go and sell them in town, or we can pump them into a furnace array, which I'm planning on popping a furnace array coming into here. So we'll put the chests in this area for the inputs and outputs of the furnace array, which are right next to the actual thing there to pull across there. But it does take a little time to build up the actual furnace array, the sort of kelp array, because you need to continually burn kelp and just recycle the kelp back into itself until everything fills up. So it will take a little while to sort of build up that amount of kelp and actually get this up and running properly. But it is getting there step by step, so we will eventually have this all up and running as soon as we can. Next to this then we have item filters going all the way around here. We've got 4 rows for gunpowder because it's one of our more numerous ones, and we're going to have that's next to these 4 rows of sugarcane, and we've got these next to each other. Because again, the reason I put the kelp at the beginning here is because the kelp farm produces quite a lot of kelp. It pulls it out of the water stream quite early. Gunpowder and sugarcane are also quite numerous as well when they're coming out, so it's pulling them out as soon as it can from there. But we've got them next to each other because obviously we use those items together to make rockets. And I've got these crafting benches you can see all the way around in between all the chests, so that makes it a bit easier. So we've always got item benches to get quick access to. And I'll probably put ender chests on top of all of them as well, so we've got quick access to those as well. But yeah, if we come over to here, we've got then on the next row we've got pumpkins and eggs, which are obviously next to the sugarcane. Again, these get used together to make pumpkin pie, which we use for food. So that keeps them all nice and conveniently together as well. I might put an extra chest or 2 somewhere around here for just storing the pumpkin pies. Then we've got melons. It only filters into the top 3 chests because then we'll convert them into melon blocks, which will pop into these because that'll be melon slices in this one. So we're going to start connecting some of those over because it's starting to fill up. And then we've got 4 rows for iron bars. And then we've got 16 here for the different colours of wool. So we've got all the different colours of wool being filtered out here. So we can start storing those ones up. Then we've got golden nuggets coming into here from the gold farm. We've got bamboo coming into here. There's not a lot of bamboo in here at the moment, even though we do actually produce quite a bit. And the reason is I keep taking the bamboo out and popping it into the furnace arrays over there to help get them started. So I've been using those kind of as like a Kickstarter for the furnace array over there. Sorry, the kelp array over there. Then next to it we've got honeycomb and we've got bottles of honey. cobblestone and basalt, and then we get to poppies and stuff like this. Now I don't need a full row of poppies and a full row of rose bushes and stuff like that. I'm only going to really need a single chest of those, so only the top chest is connected to the item filters. The rest of the chests beneath it aren't actually connected, though they're all part of the same wall. And this will enable me then to have a load of chests for manual storage as well, so all sorts of things that I'm crafting up or I harvest out in the world, I can just pop them in like I did in the last season. But we also have the automated chest right next to it, so we've got all this extra storage here, and we go all the way around to here until we get to dripstone, and we got the cocoa beans and cactus and everything else, and that ends in sort of the normal auto storage that we have here. These chests here and all the way around to here, these are all not connected to hoppers either, so this gives us even more space for storing and sorting various things out manually. But behind here you will see there are item filters, but these aren't going into the chest, they're going into the compositors here. Compositors? No, I mean composters. Sorry, I keep getting those words mixed up for some reason. But yeah, it pops the items into composter, and that's anything that's organic that's elsewhere in the line. So if these fill up, and then we don't get overstock of them and things come through, all the organic components will get filtered out of the line here and dropped into the composters, and then the composter lines. If we come around the back here, you can see we've got this line of composters here with their hoppers at the bottom, which feed into this dropper here, which is just another one of those droppers with a little circuit that just automatically kicks the items out, which goes into a water stream and back over the top here. And as the bone meal comes over the top here, it'll come back into the main water stream and then get deposited in these 2 rows of chests here for storing up bone meal. And the reason why we have it coming back into the main water stream is because we may end up chucking bone meal in at other locations as well, so we can just draw it all out in the same time. These 3 chests aren't connected, but the next one here is a disposal chest, so any items we put in here won't go anywhere until we lift the lever. When we lift the lever, they will get pumped out into this dropper over here with another one of those small circuits on it that cause it to automatically kick out from the dropper. And in addition to this, you can see there's another hop line going up to an item filter here, and that's for zombie flesh. So that any zombie flesh that comes in the line automatically goes down into disposal and automatically straight away gets disposed of. And then we also have a chest there for actually getting rid of anything else that we have excess of that we don't want to keep storage of. That goes into there as well. We can just chuck stuff into there, lift the lever, and it will automatically just dispose of it. The dropper will probably just go off into like a pit of lava or something like that, so it just immediately just kills it all off. Then we've got over here, we've got 3 rows of what I call the overflow chest. So what happens is if anything then comes around to the system, gets past all the item filters, before it goes back into the water stream, it will hit these chests normally, and they'll get drawn down, so there's no item filter on these are just drawing down. And we can go through the chest and have a look at the items in the chests to sort of go, right, okay, have I got some building blocks that have got into the stream, like if I'm building above it, that might happen, and they won't get picked up by the item filters, or if I accidentally dropped a tool into there, or if there are items that I want to actually dispose of, and I can pull them out of the chest and pop them into the disposal chest. Everything else then that's in there, I go, all right, okay, I want to keep everything else. Because sometimes if you've got a lot coming through, it might just skip over its hopper, and you might find that only one item gets drawn down and then like a couple of items continue on around. We can actually then just lift these levers and it repumps the chest back into the water stream, which we haven't actually configured up yet. There's a dropper here, it'll go into a water stream that just goes underneath, comes back up and reconnects at the top there. Yeah, so that's that. I mean, I've got these chests at the back here. This was from my chest monster before. That's just because they got all the kelp still in there that I've got to still filter into the system, so I'm just working through those a little bit. But yeah, the next step, I think, is to build a furnace array behind here and to sort out the remainder of my chest monster up there. So I'll be back in a second. The great thing about playing on a multiplayer server is that we have other people that we interact with all the way through it. It's absolutely brilliant. We also bumped into Mighty. I realised the other day that Mighty was farming withers in the Nether, which was awesome, but he was moaning in chat about like having to fight all these blazes, and I need blaze rods, and I was really like, oh, Mighty, actually, if you've got blaze rods, I'd be interested in buying them off you.
Yeah.
You're a star.
Are you still with... Oh, you're still in iron.
I am still in iron. I haven't given myself diamond armor yet, or enchanted.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But
I don't blame you. Look.
I'm going to need to gear up soon, I think, because I'm going to go and need to build a blaze farm at some point, and probably a guardian farm.
Yeah.
I need the blaze farm because I want to get end rods for the build that I'm building. I've got the purple farm, I just need the blaze rods. But no, that's awesome. That gives me some
I've got a few more if you need any. I'll just take them.
Do you want some more for it? There we are. Have another diamond.
Alright. Alright, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 2-3 stacks. I was looking for Wither Skulls, but then just ended up killing loads of Blaze. And I think I lost a few Wither Skulls in fire as well.
Oh no! Oh, that sucks.
I know. You know when you kill them and you don't know what item it is, but you can see it burn.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
It's horrible.
But when you said
I've
you
got
were fighting the Wither Skellies, I was like, perfect opportunity. I wonder if he's got a load of blaze rods from having to deal with the blazes as well. Perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there unless you're fully armored. Like, it's
Yeah.
dangerous.
That's one of the things I'm gonna have to do in the next couple of weeks. Is now get myself a full set of diamond and get the enchants done and everything else.
Hopefully, books won't be so expensive as well.
Yeah, I mean, I missed last season when they were only a diamond a book. You should open your bookstore back up.
Yeah.
I think I spent a fortune in your bookstore last season.
Yeah.
Whoever owns the books owns the server, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of true, but it's too expensive over there.
It is, but you see the price that
expensive.
Flehzy was charging originally. It was like 6 diamonds originally for a
I haven't checked recently, to be fair.
I don't know if he's actually brought his prices down to match Chris, but I think it's still 3 diamonds a book over at Chris's. So I'm quite reserved on how much I purchase at the moment. And there's not a big selection either. There's a couple of others that I could probably do with, but we'll see. I mean, we'll give it time and it'll build up.
Yeah, give it a week or two. I need to speak to Sonny about shops and stuff anyway, so...
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you guys should get your villager shops up and running. I'll probably spend a fortune in there as well. I've already spent a fortune over in Idonis picking up redstone and quartz. Everyone's taking all my money this season.
These are the only diamonds I have. I have like 2 diamonds and that's it. I'm not even going to go mining. I'm not going to bother with it.
Well, you've got 1 less diamond than me now. Everyone's like, you got in early doing these sales. It's like, yeah, but I spent them all.
Yeah.
But I still haven't got diamond armor.
No, yeah, I've just been lucky.
So yeah, we've done some work in the meantime over here. So I've taken down the old Skyblocks islands that were supporting us. They were only temporary. They were only those dirt islands. They're only there for a short period of time until we got the main things done. But yeah, we've taken them all down. That's because I have now moved all of my personal individual items, the ones that aren't being auto-sorted, into their own chests in this area as well. So remember we had a few chests that were spare for putting those things into. I'm now just getting my muscle memory back to this because this isn't the same as my old storage room. So I knew where everything was in my old storage room. But now I've set this one out, yeah, I'm having to relearn where everything is. But I'm starting to get there. Starting to work out where bits and pieces are after I've put them there. It's a little bit different to the last one. Like, for example, I used to have like about 10 chests or something like that, or maybe more actually, about 20 chests dedicated to the various different types of woods and the different types of planks. But this season I'm not going to be using a lot of wood other than when wood's needed for certain items, like crafting tables and stuff like that, or pistons. So I don't really need that many chests of wood. So I've only got 2 chests for the wood logs and the wood plank products. So that's basically any sorry, go into the right screen here. If we go into here, yeah, so just your planks and your slabs, they're all going to go into one chest, and the wood logs into here. In Season 1, I found that actually, even though I had them all split up, I wouldn't fill the chests up an awful lot. So, yeah, the chests, I feel like I only need 1 chest really for holding logs in, and I only need another one for holding planks in. Still got 2 chests for the wood products, for things like the signs and fences and everything else like that, so that keeps that nice and organised. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a rejiggle around compared to where I was last time, learning some of the lessons that I had from the last season and putting it into practice in this season. And as you can see, probably already, we have begun to decorate the place up. So I have actually enclosed this bottom space here. We've got these lovely pillars holding up like the next floor up, which we'll go and have a look at in a second. It's not complete yet, I'm just in the process, but I'll show you how far we got now. And we've also included now this mechanism over here, so where we had the kelp furnace over here, and yeah, we've got the sort of disposal systems over here. We now have this little section here, and I was really happy it fitted. It fitted in perfectly. There was just enough space to do it. So this is my furnace array. So this leads to an array, which I'll show you around the back in a second. But basically, all the items that get changed up in the furnace, get cooked up in the furnace, will appear in here. And then this is where we put in the fuel into this one, and we pull the lever and it will send the cart on its merry way there, and then we can turn it off again and it will pause again when it comes back. And likewise with this one, we can send that cart off to go and put the output in there, the input in there. So the items that we're putting in that need to be cooked up in the smelter, we just send that one off, and it just bounces back and forward across a track over there. In fact, actually, if we go around the back, we can have a look, because I've left the back of this open so that we can actually have a look at it. So the furnace array is just kept on the side here. This is the furnace array here. We have 32 furnaces. So last season I started with an 8 block furnace, and I found it wasn't quite sufficient for my needs. So later on I built a 64 furnace system, which you know, that was pretty good in itself. You know, in the time it took to cook one item in a normal furnace, that 64 furnace array would turn around and cook a whole stack, which was awesome. But I was sort of figuring, I want to build one furnace that will last me the whole season. So I think the 64 was maybe a little bit too much overkill. So I went with half the size. I've gone with a 32 furnace here. So our starting furnace is 32. I don't think we're going to need a bigger furnace in the season. So this should hopefully do for all our needs. And it's pretty straightforward. It's just basically 3 railway lines going over a bunch of hoppers that lead into the furnaces. So the top line here, that's the items coming in. The line that's in the middle here that sort of has the hoppers going into the backs of the furnaces, that's the one which pops all the fuel in. And then we have hoppers underneath the furnace, which the bottom railway line then picks the items back up. And all they do is then these railway lines come around here, they're looped around, so you can see this loop system. The minecart will come down this way, go around, and then as it comes to here, it will just carry on straight and go through. And yeah, if we come down into here, you can see, if I can find a way through here, mine the minecart, there we are. You can actually see it as it comes back down here, you'll see it sort of crosses over there, there we are. But yeah, that's the one which is actually picking the items up to bring back to the chest, which obviously we haven't got any going at the moment, but it would do if there were any going at the moment. And then these are your 2 incoming lines here that are coming from that front bit we saw there, leading off to there. So that's all this is. It's pretty straightforward and simple, but I've left space around the back here so that I can put a door in here at some point. So I've got access to the back here. So if there is any problems or anything else like that, I need to come back here and fix things, then I can come out the back here, I can sort it out. We have this area available here. So I mean, I could have just completely enclosed the circuits, but lessons again is that sometimes you're going to need to have access to these things, just because you know, things do break sometimes and you need to go in and sort stuff out. So it's a good idea to make sure you've got space to be able to do that. We then got this upper section that I've started working on here. I love the new blocks. I mean, with the deep slate, it gives a whole different vibe to when sort of building this way. And then we've got these lovely pillars that I've started to build. I'll probably attach these with like a little spine going across the top here, like a beam or something going across the top here. I got some ideas about what I want to do to finish this off, so we'll crack on with that in a minute. But yeah, we have this cost a lot of iron. It's a good job we got an iron farm because of the amount of iron trapdoors down here. But yeah, this looks a really nice sort of industrial sort of feeling look on the actual trapdoors here, and the look I'm going for here is sort of combination of sort of an industrial combined with the Gothic sort of style, this sort of dark Gothic sort of almost cathedral-like style. So hence we got these sort of pillars up the side here, and the pillars holding up the middle section, holding up the middle floor here from there. But yeah, and the other thing I love is these blocks. The chiseled deep slate blocks, they look absolutely lovely, and when you put them in a row like this next to this, it just looks like it's like a proper industrial type thing of some description. It just suits, it just looks good. I like the way it's done, and this is actually, this sort of grate here, you can see it's actually going above the water stream that's carrying our items off to the storage system, so it has its own uses there as well. Which means, you know, if I had, I don't think I've got the items for it on me actually at the moment, but if I had like a switch or something, I could probably put a lever or a button on here, or probably a lever but better, on the blocks next to this, and I could press it and I could open up these trapdoors. So if I did need to get back into the stream, then yeah, it's actually relatively easy to get back into the stream, because we just need a lever next to each trapdoor we want to open up to go down and have a look. So yeah, again, it's still also got a practical sense as well. And then yeah, also these floors here, so you can see I've got them here, I've also got them down in the lower floor with these textures here, so just around the edge here. Again, it's a bit of an experiment, so I'm sort of changing the way I do things and the styles I do things a little bit. And it's just grey concrete, but we have interspersed with it a bit of the polished deep slate again, which I think looks quite nice interspersed amongst it. And then the other items, and the other sort of textures you see here, these ones, that's a smithing table, that's the top of a smithing table, and that's the top of a blast furnace. So they sort of give these sort of different looks as you're going around here. So again, just sort of trying to keep that sort of industrial Gothic look up here as well. But there's more to finish off yet as we hit in towards nighttime. I've switched to mood lighting because the nice thing about the moody lighting, you've got Optifine, it's got the different options between like having it all up in bright settings or down in the moody setting. These sort of builds like this, it sort of casts the shadows into the areas. You can see where we use the blast, some of the blaze rods. We built ourselves some end rods because we've now got the purple file, so we can just combine that with the blaze power that we can get from the blaze rods. And also built a load of ender chests as well. So everything's practical. So like all these little pillars that we got here, you've got, you know, a crafting table there, not far from any of the chests in the storage area. But we've also got our ender chest and the lighting here from these. And of course, with 1.18, the rules on mob spawning has changed, which means you have to be at light level 0 before mobs will spawn. So whereas before mobs would spawn anywhere from any light level below 7, now it's anywhere that's below 1 basically. So yeah, anytime there's 0 light, that's the new change that was brought in 1.18, which means now we don't need as much lighting in order to make it mob safe. And because we don't need as much lighting, it also means when you put it in the moody setting, you can start playing a little bit with the lighting to have shadows and everything else in areas that previously you couldn't do because you were wanting to keep it all nice and bright to stop the mobs. And now we can actually sort of have the bits where the light sort of starts to fall off and trail off without actually causing the mobs to spawn, which I think is just absolutely awesome. And hopefully there's going to be more opportunities for us to play with that lighting on this build as we go through, so hopefully that will sort of come out as well. But the next steps for me now is to sort of enclose this top section and also to build a platform up to here. I want to try and sort of enclose this all as a room. This glass window we have here is going to be visible down in this room as well. I might do a bit of a build around the outside of it as well, just to give it a bit of a nice design as well, so it's not just the deep slate wall that we got here, shaded slate. I want to make it a little bit prettier. As I say, I don't like sort of just plain walls. I like to have some decor on there, so we'll do something to keep this all nice and looking neat. But yeah, we'll jump back again in a second. And we are back again, and things have changed somewhat. I have done a lot this week, and when I say I've done a lot, I mean I've done quite a bit. So we have now a portal room, which is this lovely sort of round room that we've got here with the portal in the middle there. I'm absolutely loving the idea of putting like these end rods between these switches. It sort of has this kind of nice sort of futuristic design, almost like some sort of fluorescent bulbs that are being held in place here. And we've got a couple of round things. These are going to lead off to other corridors later on that will lead to other sections of the base. But we have one of these. If we come through to here and we follow the corridor through, we might have some smaller corridors coming off these as well. You can come into that main storage room and you can see how much I've done, how much it's changed. So we have like a core, like an engine core in the middle there, sort of powered by lapis all the way up. And you can tell I'm filming this segment in Christmas Eve because you can see all the chests have changed into the Christmas present design. So they will revert back to normal chests in a couple of days. But for the time being, yes, we're on Christmas Eve itself. But yes, so we have this balcony, and that's the storage system we were building earlier down there. And then we have all these pillars coming up to this section here. And again, it's that kind of sci-fi Gothic style that I'm trying to go for. So we have this engine core here, but we also have like the Gothic style pillars coming up the side here, using blast furnaces here to sort of create almost like a vent system going around the outside. We've got like copper lightning rods down there, creating pipes that connect up on the core. And yeah, if we come up to here, obviously this is our farm section here as well. And we've got all of this section sort of built up on its own little balcony with now these sort of stairwells going through to like the chorus farms, and we've also got our main crop farm at the top here as well. So that's all come on quite nicely, actually, I think. So yeah, this is coming on absolutely beautiful. And if we come down, we've also got the furnace arrays working. We've got some water elevators to turn around and take us back up to the floor that we were just on a minute ago. And yeah, this is all done down this end. So the furnaces are actually working. Citizens of the Unorthoblocks, I am DocBloc. While you guys may be there digging in the dirt for your diamonds, or maybe competing cooperatively to try and have as many diamonds as possible, you all fail to realize there is a better way to get them. I have
have built a redstone bomb, and I am going to detonate it in the center of Spawn Town. Unless you, that's right, all you people on the Unorthoblocks, send me 1 million diamonds. I'll await your diamonds. Now, how do I turn this thing off? Henry! I need to work this out. How do I turn this thing off?
What was that? That's very, very concerning. I mean, if this DocBloc is going to carry out his threat, then that's a threat to everyone on the server, regardless of who they are. We don't want to see anyone's builds get blown up. But it's a good thing, actually, because we were already going to set up an organisation this season to deal with threats like this DocBloc guy. So now's as good a time as any to announce what this organisation is. So we are going to be called the Special Protection Initiative regarding everyone, aka S.P.I.R.E. And what we will be doing is we're not going to be concerned about the petty territorial disputes that some of the members might have, or even worrying about who can get the most diamonds this season and all this sort of corporate greed and competition. No, you see, what I want to do this season is I'm going to be sitting there safeguarding everyone else, and we're going to do it from our base here. But if we're going to do it from our base here, then we are going to need some resources, and our pop-up store in town is alright, but we could certainly do, I think, a little bit better. I think it's time we send some resources into town.
Alpha November 19 to air traffic control at Spawn Town. Permission requested for landing. Alpha November 19, this is control at Spawn Town. Permission granted.
And there we are in Spawn Town with one of our jets here, bringing our goods over to the Spawn Town itself. This is a build that I had to take out part of a mountain to put it in here and sort of squeeze it between people's builds here. But actually, I think it fits in quite nicely, actually, when we look at it from the exterior side of here. But yeah, this is something else that I've just added. This is going to be my one and only shop that I'm going to have on the server this season. But this shop will sell everything. You can see there are like piles sort of stacked up around because it's a surplus store. It's basically anything that we produce that we don't need ourselves, then we're just going to make it available for sale to everyone else, and we'll set the price accordingly by however much we've got in surplus. So we have fireworks, we have gunpowder, we've got iron blocks down there. I've got some melons and pumpkins and pumpkin pie and bamboo and sugarcane. They're all up for sale. And we've also got a few other things. We've got all the wool is down there. I've now got it sorted by colour as well, so that it's easier to find which wools you're after. And we've got some kelp blocks as well. Even though we haven't quite fully powered up our kelp furnace into its full potential, we've got some kelp blocks that we can start selling. At the moment, I'm doing like 2 diamonds for a stack, but that'll probably come down in price as we manage to actually get that furnace up and running and we get excess kelp. But yeah, I mean, let's go and have a look at this very quickly before we finish off the episode here. We're up in the control tower here. I've got some little armor stands up here, statues up here with their controls here for guiding it in, and the guy with his telescope there to watch it coming into land there. We have a door at the back here which sort of exits out, but if we come down here, we've got like a little bedroom down here, just like a little office space for when you're doing your late nights there. And then we've got this water elevator that sits down at this side, and we can actually come around and have a look at that properly. This is the control tower, which is sort of built into the cliff face. We also have like doors to a hangar here. There's no hangar behind there yet, but maybe later in the season we may dig it out and have the hangar doors open up so that you can see what's inside. But there's only a limited amount of time like you've got in a week to actually do anything. We've also got these lights up around here, though. currently they're not on. When I get some sea lanterns, then I'll make sure these are switched on properly. Also, you may notice I've got BSL shader mods on as well, which just makes everything just pop so nicely, lights it all up so lovely in here as well, like if we're coming around here, especially those end rods. But yeah, here's the main jet itself. It's like a VTOL jet, if I can actually say the acronym properly. And yeah, I built this one up so that we can actually go on board as well. You've got like a little cargo space in the back here. If we press the button here, we can go through to, there's like a little passenger section here with like a little stove and water for in-flight food and stuff. The door out the side there. And then we've also got the front cabin space here where we've got a couple of guys sitting there waiting with their controls. You've got like a couple of joysticks in front of them there and a few buttons and stuff around as well. So that's the jet itself. And if we can get back out again, yeah, we'll come down to here. And you can see outside, as I said, we've got those stacks of goods around. But we've got a few other things as well. We've got like this little barrier at the front here. You know, you can walk around it. It's easy enough to walk around as a pedestrian. It's just like a vehicle barrier. We've got a little security booth there as well. And we have a little book there just welcoming people and telling them about S.P.I.R.E and how this place works as a surplus store, and a request for everyone to sign in upon visiting as well. And we have like a price board here as well that actually shows the price of everything we sell at the moment, because the price is going to go up and down depending on how much we've got in surplus. Though I might take the market as a bit of what everyone else is selling, and if they're selling the same sort of things, as a bit of a guide to what prices to set. The biggest thing that will actually set the prices is basically how much we've got. If I've got tons of it, then I'm going to probably sell it off really cheaply. If I haven't got a lot of it, then I'm probably going to put the prices up a bit. And that's going to be regardless of what anyone else is selling there. So yeah, we have that there as well. So that's all coming on nicely. The other thing we did as well is I sort of did a little bit of terraforming. We've got a road that comes out of here, so we've got this road here that comes down, and this is a design that Lady Bex put up in our own Discord here as well, to sort of say, you know, we're going to try and sort of have a sort of consistency with town with some of the places. And you can see like there's Flehzy's shop there, which is now just sort of nestled in underneath, and the wall design as well. It's like, this is an adaptation of the design that Lady Bex had put up. Again, she posted up a design for the wall. It was a little shorter than this, but I needed to make it a bit bigger to be a retaining wall for the outpost there for S.P.I.R.E surplus, so I sort of kind of redesigned it a bit. And I also came down here, I sort of brought the road all the way down to here and connected it up with a nether portal, which I've also done the nether portal up for the community as well, because before it was just a nether portal in a dirt block, which was just weird to look at in the middle of the town. But this place is lovely. I love some of the builds that are coming on. We've got some that are still under construction. We've got some things that are already done. I would highly recommend that we deal with this zombie first, actually. That's what I highly recommend. Go on, go away. I'm trying to turn around and talk to the audience there. Thank you. Right. Now, I highly recommend checking out everyone else's builds in this area. Go and check out their videos in the links below, and you'll see all of that there. But I've been Draken. This has been the DrakenGameWerks. I hope you have a wonderful and great Christmas, and we will see you in the new year. Bye.